When we are prosperous, when we are successful in life, we tend to forget about God. You know, my dear brothers and sisters, it takes great courage to prophesy doom and gloom when everything seems well. That is why when things are going on well, nobody wants to hear bad news. We think life will continue to grow and we will be always well taken care of. How true for all of us. That is why it's very dangerous. Those of you who are living so-called successful life, you are rich, you have influence, you have good health. It seems your children, your business, all doing well. But you can become complacent. It is great to have a good life, to be famous, to be well known, but there are dangers. That's why those people who seek power, wealth, and fame, they have a divided heart. You cannot serve God and mammon at the same time. But we try. Especially for those of us who are so-called disposed Catholics and Christians. We want God, we want Jesus, but of course we also want mammon. We want the world. And very often, because of our divided heart, we have to compromise our faith, compromise our values for the sake of the world. This is always a great challenge for many of us. But that is the reality. To be true to the gospel, to be true to our values, you need to be strong in your faith because it means lots of sacrifices. That is why, my dear brothers and sisters, for those of us who are rich and successful, let us be careful of complacency. Don't forget about God. To constantly seek His face does not mean just to rely on Him, but to live a life of integrity. Otherwise, there is no peace in our heart. You can be wealthy. You can be successful in life. You can be climbing the social ladder, career ladder, whatever ladders you want to climb, but you will not be happy. This is the price you will have to pay for the lack of integrity. Because some of us are rich, some of us has climbed to the top, not because we use honest means, dishonest means. I know there are some people who are rich through unethical means. And so they try to give a little bit of donation to the poor or to the church to alleviate, to suit their guilt. But my dear brothers and sisters, the Lord does not want all this. That's why even the church, in case you do not know, we do not take money from illegal, unethical sources, including legal gambling entities. Not for the church, not for the poor. In that sense, the church have lost a possible source of fund. But we have to be true to ourselves. We cannot compromise the gospel. Constantly seek the face of God. This is what we must do. Why? So that those of us who are rich and influential, we will never think too highly of ourselves. Don't think that just because you are rich or powerful, you are talented, it's all your hard work. Once we do that, we begin to look down on others. We begin to dissociate ourselves from those who are struggling in life. We are no longer grateful for the blessings that we have received. When we are conscious that what we have all comes from God, we have nothing to boast about. That's why I always say humility is so important. Humility, especially when you are successful. Humility, especially when you are somebody. That is true humility. But when you are poor, even poor people are not so humble all the time. but humility when you have become rich and powerful. That's why those people who are rich, influential, and they are humble, is because why? Because they know that what they have comes from God. And they share whatever they have with those who are without, because they know whatever they receive are blessings from God, not meant for themselves. At the end of the day, it's meant for others. So they distribute to others, to bless others with what they have themselves received. That's why the church does not charge for what we do. The gospel is free. It is given to us, and we give out freely. And this is very important, that the church is meant to serve the poor, those who are in need, those who are suffering. This is where we are called to reach out to them. Because whatever the Lord has given to us is never for the church, it's for the rest of humanity. That's why great leaders always come from people with poor background, because they know the sufferings of others. And even when they become great, they remain humble. Yes, my dear brothers and sisters, the Lord has chosen us all. We are all ordinary people, but if we surrender ourselves to the Lord, He will do wonders for us. What the Lord is seeking is for people who are docile, who are dependent on Him, who trust Him, who spend time with Him. Let us be apostles for Christ. No one can be a real disciple unless he is also an apostle of the good news.